Harvard's getting 6.5 points against Vanderbilt in one of the classic 12-5 matchups, and this line has gone up and down a little bit since opening. First-round Ivy League covers against powerhouses from major conferences were commonplace many years ago, but Harvard getting only 6.5 points against Vanderbilt really indicates a ton of respect. Vanderbilt, of course, is the SEC champion, and their last game was a straight-up win over Kentucky, the top-ranked team in the country. Vanderbilt's regular season resume is sterling. They played no less than 8 games against top 20 teams, and they played competitively with all of them. Harvard did get a very impressive win over Florida State early in the season, and they started off the year as a great bet before the cat was fully out of the bag on how good they actually were. They were 6-2 against the spread over their first 8 line games, but once they became a ranked team and got national attention, the market pretty much overreacted, and they went 6-11 against the spread after that. Additionally, after the Florida State win, they lost against the spread by a decent margin to the next big-name team that they played, which was Connecticut, where they were made only a 6.5-point underdog there, same line as this game, and a similar betting situation as well. Vanderbilt was 17-13 against the spread on the year. Still, Harvard does have an experienced team with a deep bench, so they will be able to rotate players in and out to stay as competitive as possible to the very end. And as is always the case with these kinds of matchups, Harvard's main weakness will be a lack of talented big men to match up with what major conference teams will have, and Vanderbilt fits that mold perfectly. This year's version of Harvard is more athletic than nerd teams usually are, but make no mistake, they are still nerds. Both teams were significant undertrenders on the year as well. Vanderbilt was 12-18 over-under, and Harvard was 9-16 over-under on the year. The total on this game came out on the very low side in the low 20s, but that's still a bit higher than Harvard's games against Florida State and UConn went, and also higher than Vanderbilt's first 2 SEC tournament games went as well. In particular, an under in the first half, which should have a total around 58, might be a good bet, as Harvard will likely try to limit possessions as much as they can in the first half to shorten the game.